this review is not against the comics, but at the same time, it's not for them either. This review is disregarding the comics, which might offend some people. I'm sorry if it offends you, but I'm not going according to the comics right now. I'm going according to the movie. So all comics aside, just the movie, okay? Keep going. Hello outside people, this is TJ Inside. Welcome back to my channel. And I know this is new that we're in this kind of scenario. I'm sitting in front of you and I'm talking to you and you might not respond immediately, but that's okay. And I wanted to do this for a while because I wanted to review movies. And so the movie I'm going to be reviewing is Wonder Woman that recently came out. If you don't want any spoilers, which I am going to give spoilers because I'm going to go step by step from the beginning of the movie to the end of the movie as much as I can remember, because it's fresh in my mind right now, so I'm trying to give it to you as I see it. So if you don't want spoilers, don't continue watching this, but if you do want spoilers, I don't care. Stop watching it, continue watching it, go right ahead. I would really appreciate it if you kept watching it. Okay, don't start a video like that. So, step by step from the movie, Wonder Woman. We start out the movie with, Gal, okay, I'm so sorry if I do not pronounce the names right. I am so sorry, forgive me. But Gal Gadot, I'm so sorry. But she starts out with a narration of how she thinks of stuff and whatever. And so the camera comes down and she like, you know, she's walking on, but she like has, and what we've seen from the trailer is that she's wearing like old-fashioned clothing, and so I'm watching her, I'm like, she's wearing like real day clothing, and then we have a scene like the camera's going down and then comes down on the Louvre in Paris, and I'm like, but that's not a real, like, it wasn't constructed during the time that the movie takes place. So I'm there going, okay, this is gonna be a flashback. Not something that we haven't seen before. It's a cliche, actually. It's a big cliche, but I don't care. I really appreciate the thing that Bruce Wayne found a picture of her and her friends in World War II, I'm gonna say, because they had fighter planes. And so he found a picture of her, sent it to her, and said, hey, look what I stumbled upon. And she looks at it, and that's when she remembers, oh, this was what happened. And so then we go into the story, and this island, we all knew, and those who are comic book fans know that this is in the Amazon. Okay, so we're like, oh, there's the island in the Amazon. Okay, we can continue with this, we all know that. So it comes down into the Amazon, and we're seeing a little girl running around, but like, even looking around, I noticed, hey, where are all the other little children? Why aren't we seeing other little children running around too? Okay, so I was gonna pass it along thinking, oh, we're just not seeing them yet. Turns out she's the only child on that island. So that's just sad. And she really wants to fight, and I find the cliche here. Her mom doesn't want her to fight, and she really wants to fight, but her mom doesn't want her to. And so, you know, that the cliche of somebody wanting to do something that the father figure or the royalty figure is doing, and they want to do the same exact thing, but they're not letting them because for reasons. They don't tell them, they never explain it to them, and the child just goes along with it. Not, I guess grudgingly could be a word, but she didn't seem angry about it, but at the same time, later we find out that her mother, actually her mother's sister, her aunt, is teaching her behind her mom's back. And there was another cliche, you're doing it behind somebody's back, they're gonna find out, it's gonna be destroying and utterly annoying. So there comes another cliche, I'm hiding a big secret that could change the course of my daughter's life, and I'm hiding it from her so that one day she'll find out by herself and then doubt herself. Well, thankfully, it doesn't follow through to the doubting of herself. She was like, oh wow, I have these things. I'm just gonna keep living my life. That's cool. And so, so I think that didn't follow through, but it's fine. It's fine. So the airplane comes through from and out of the sphere and lands into the ocean, and from afar she sees him struggling, trying to get out of the airplane, and she decides to go and save him. Now, first of all, she makes a really bad mistake. Who jumps head first, diving into waters below? That's not what you do. You jump in feet first, because you don't know if there are rocks down there. You don't want to kill yourself. Oh, she's a goddess. She knows what she's doing. I don't care. That's not what you do. Trained professionals would tell you that you go in feet first, not head first. Anyways, she dives into the water and goes and saves him. But, like, for the weirdest thing, she stands upon the part of their airplane that's not sinking and just stands there looking at him. Why would you do that? I don't know. Dramatic effect? Okay, fine. Do what you want. And then she goes down and saves him. Okay, the comedy in this movie is pretty good. It's not like the comedy in Batman v Superman, which is really dry, and I was just sitting there like, okay, that's funny, but I'm not laughing. And it turns out that you actually can come into the shield. Why would you create a shield and humans can still go in it? Like, why do I not create a shield where you just pass by it and you don't even notice it? But no, there's a shield that disguises you, but you could still go into this island area. The people get on the island and they start shooting and stuff. Well, apparently, Diana's mom has all-knowing knowledge of things because she's there, ready to fight them, like with her army, with their arrows, and with their armor, and so, like, I guess they knew that they were going to be attacked that day. I don't know. And they come down. Okay. At this part, actually, a lot of the fighting scenes at the beginning of the movie, just at the beginning of the movie, not the whole entire movie, just at the beginning of the movie, the fighting scenes were actually very interesting to me. I got goosebumps, actually, watching the fighting scenes. I was like, oh, wow, this is amazing. This is pretty good. The jumping off and then rolling around, like in the air, just turning, doing cartwheels and turning and with the arrow and shooting. I really liked it. I really enjoyed it. It was quite fun. I enjoyed it. I got goosebumps. Oh my word, her aunt died. I'm not that sentimental. I didn't cry at that part, but it was really sad. And I didn't really know much about the aunt to feel bad for her. I mean, I felt bad for Diana, but I didn't really know much about the aunt to feel bad for her death. I was just like, oh, she died. I'm sorry. Okay. Moving on. We later on find out that World War II is going on outside of these people, and these people aren't even aware of that. And Zeus doesn't even say, "Hey, go and do stuff." They're like, "Oh, they'll figure it out. I don't need help. They'll figure it out by themselves." Okay. Why? Okay. Anyways, keep going. She goes for the sword that she calls the Godslayer. She gets the shield as well. She gets the rope of truth as well. She's walking off, and all of a sudden she's like, oh, look, I'm going to put that armor on. Okay, we all know what the armor looks like. We already saw Batman v Superman. It's just really cool. It's really cool. Anyways, and I enjoy it. Anyways, so Steve and her go off into the boat, and her mother, again, all-knowing, knows to go out there and confront her daughter and say, like, I'm not going to stop you, but I think this is a wrong idea. The mankind do not deserve you. And you bring me happiness, but right now you're bringing me sorrow. And she walks away, and they're like, okay, bye, Mom. Okay. So I went with some friends, and one of my friends was like, why did she fall in love with the first guy that she ever met? And I feel like it wasn't falling in love yet. She was just like, oh, you're going to help me get to the war. And she didn't really fall in love with him until later on when he started talking to her about truths of life and stuff like that. I think that's when they started falling in love. And I feel like, yes, you can tell the truth and tell what you think. But at the same time, you have to know the right place and the right time. And Diana doesn't really have that kind of knowledge of doing things at the right place at the right time. She just goes and does it, which I think is a very not good thing. It gets her in trouble a lot of times. Well, ultimately, and in a nutshell, they get to one of the battles that is going on, and there's like, this is called No Man's Land because no man can ever cross it. And she's like, oh yeah, watch me. Which is an amazing moment. an amazing moment. I'm stopping all these bullets, watch me. After that, when everybody's together and they're just enjoying and celebrating and stuff, that's when he keeps on imparting her knowledge of life and what life is about and how mankind is. You know, little by little, he's telling her about him and about everybody else around him. And then they come to the point where, yeah, she fell in love with him. And then I'm sitting next to my friend as she turns around and she sees St. Patrick in the office area. And my friend is like, I knew it. And I was like, I didn't. There's a twist. I love that twist. The twist is amazing. Of course, none like my friends in Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. They knew that the twist ending was coming. I didn't know that twist ending was coming. I didn't know the twist ending was coming this time either. Anyways, so I'm sitting there and there's a twist ending and it's great. It's amazing. It's like, oh my word, I didn't even know it. And he's like a bad guy. I love that battle. The battle is pretty cool, and it's like what a battle should be, you know? And then we go on to, you know, like that moment where she rethinks about what, I mean, Ares, the whole entire battle is telling her, hey, their mankind is bad, we should kill them now and rule the world. I started bawling. I'm a crier at movies. I cried in Star Wars when the blind man died. I'm very in touch with my feelings. Don't deny it. Don't deny. I see you. Don't deny it. And there's like celebration, and then they're back in London already, and they're walking around, and everybody's celebrating that the war is over. And they go to these pictures, and then all these pictures, and she like immediately knows where his picture is, and finds Steve's picture, and he's there, and it's amazing and sad. We cut back to her in real life. Overall, I really like this movie. It was a really good movie. It's like a girl power movie, like girls rule. Admit it, boys, you drool. I'm not gonna say about what, but you guys know about what. Deal with it. What? So overall, I really like this movie. I really like the shots. I really like the effects, the lighting effects, because at some point, like, we're getting every good side of Gal, which is amazing. She's beautiful. She's a great actress. And everybody did a good job overall. For me, Chris Pine's character was still a Chris Pine character. For me, he didn't feel like any different from the Star Trek character. Yeah, there was a moment on when he's telling her about how this is who mankind is, but we can stop it now. That moment, I felt like, oh, there it is, the spark of an actor, and then he goes back to just being Chris Pine, which is fine because he does it well. Okay, he does it well. And those are like the two, and then of course David, he did a good job as a villain. He does a really good villain, and as you can see in Harry Potter, he does a very good friend, and not main character of course, but friend. I feel like if he wasn't the main character, he would be either an assistant as a friend or the villain, and he does those really well. And for some reason, like even as a friend character, he's still very notable and noticeable, and people are like, oh my word, that's Lupin. Like me. Anyways, so overall I really liked the movie. The movie was great. If you guys loved it too, I'm glad. I know like DC has had a few rough problems. Had a few problems with their movies. Batman v Superman. Anyways, so I hope you guys liked it. And please leave a comment below, like if you liked it. So hopefully I can do this more and give you guys more reviews on movies that I liked and movies that you've seen and recent movies that are coming out, and hopefully everything will go well. So I'll see you guys some other time. Hopefully we can keep doing this, but I don't know if I can because I actually life. Alright, so comment, like. This is goodbye from TJ on the inside.